Hello students, this is Nilofer Miss, your SS teacher. Welcome to Silver Bells online teaching. Students, today we are going to start chapter 14, India Location, Geological Structure and Physiography 2. Actually we have taken the same chapter, it means the similar chapter in chapter 13, in which we have divided the chapter into two parts. So here also I am going to divide this chapter into two parts, part 1 and part 2. So in the previous chapter, last we took the topic of plates, and here we are going to start with the Himalayas and we'll go far away. So be ready for it. Again I have divided the chapter into points so that it would be easy to remember for you. So let's start the first point. What is the first point? So the first point is, what is physiography? The landform which is irregular and has some undulation on the surface of the earth is called physiography. It includes mountains, plateaus, plains, etc. In the easy language, if we see here the map is given. So the landform of India, it isn't same like everywhere. It isn't flat. It is irregular and has some undulation. Now undulation means what? Undulation means ups and downs. Somewhere there are mountains while somewhere there are valleys. So these undulation, ups and downs on the surface of the earth is called physiography. And what is there in the physiography? So see, the mountains, plateaus and plains are there. So many things are covered in physiography, and so here also we learn about that. On the basis of physiography, India can be divided into the following physiographic regions. So dear students, if you make the base of physiography, then which things are there in the physiographic regions? They are Northern Mountainous Region, Great Northern Plains, Peninsula Plateau, the Coastal Plains and Archipelagos. India is divided into these 5 physiographic regions. These 5 names you have to remember. These are the basis of physiography. The question can be asked that India is divided into how many physiographic regions? So you have to remember that they are 5. You are very much clear about peninsular. We have already learnt about it, 3-sided water. Coastal plains, it means the seashores. And archipelagos, what does it mean? It is a group of islands like Andaman Nicobar. Now we will learn about the first point, Northern Mountainous Region. Here we will learn about the mountainous chain of Himalayas, the mountain which are on the Himalayas, Northern Mountainous Region, that we will see here. So here the first point, this is an important natural region of India. Why natural region? Because we haven't made it. Have you went over there? Let's go and make the mountains? No. It is the natural. We haven't made it. It isn't man-made. That is why it is natural. This is an important natural region of India. It is known as the Himalayan mountain system, spread over 2,400 kilometers. See, it is very long, 2,400 kilometers. In west is direction in the north. It is spreaded all over there. Then it has an arc shape. Its width range between 240 kilometers to 320 kilometers. See, we have seen the length 2400, but the width, how much width is there? So between 240 kilometers to 320 kilometers. Next point, the Himalaya is not a single mountain, but a complex of many mountain ranges. See here, it is not one single mountain, but complex. Complex means a group of mountains. So many mountains are there together. So the Himalaya is not a single one mountain, but it is complex. It means a group of many mountain ranges. That is the reason why it is so great, why it is so lengthy. going towards east from Afghanistan. It means it starts from Afghanistan. So from Afghanistan is in the west, and from Afghanistan it goes towards east. And how much it extends? It extends up to Myanmar via India, Nepal and Bhutan. It means from Afghanistan it starts the journey. From Afghanistan it includes India, then Nepal, then Bhutan and then Myanmar. Myanmar is a country. Then the next point, it has more span in Tibet in the north. It means it has more spread over in Tibet. Now it is a part of the mountain system known as the Pamir Knot. Now one mountain system is there, Pamir Knot, and Himalaya is the part of that Pamir Knot. It is the part of that mountain system. Pamir Knot is spread all over in the Central Asia, and Himalaya is the part of it. Now next one, Himalayas on the whole can be divided into two divisions. So Himalaya is divided into two parts. Which are they? So Northern Himalayan region and the another one is Eastern Himalayas. It is divided into two divisions. You have to remember how many divisions are Himalayas divided into. So it is divided into two divisions, and which are they? Northern Himalayan region and Eastern Himalayas. Northern Himalayan region means the Himalayas which is spread over in the north side, while Eastern Himalayas means it is spread in the east side. In that, we will learn first the first point, Northern Himalayan region. So see, there are three mountain ranges parallel to each other. So my dear students, three ranges are there in parallel, three lines are there, and the first line on it is called the Greater Himalayas. Okay dear students? Now in that, we will first learn about the first range, which is also known as Northern Range and the Greater Himalayas. See, this is the loftiest range. Loftiest means the highest one, the peak of it, the loftiest, highest. So this is the loftiest range among the Himalayas, wherein there are more than 40 peaks. How many peaks are there? 40 peaks which exceed. It means how much its height is. More than, exceed means here more than 7,000 meters. It is exceeded 7,000 meters. Such height is there, and 40 peaks are there. Most famous among them is Mount Everest. You have heard this name so many times. Okay? So dear students, most famous among them is Mount Everest, which is 8,848 meters high. And where it is located? So it is on Nepal-China border. It is known as Sagarmat in Tibet. You have to remember the name, what it is known as Sagarmat. And where it is located? It is on Nepal-China border. In our Hindi, we can say Sagar Matha. Here Sagar means the sea and Matha means the head. It is known as the head of the sea. And due to the convergent, this peak came out, this Himalayas, this mountain came out, and due to that region it is known as Sagar Matha. You have to remember the word. Okay. What is known as Sagarmatha? So you have to tell Mount Everest. And what is its height? So 8,848 meters. See the next point. Another famous peak is Godwin Austen or K2. 8,611 meters, which is the highest peak of India. So which is the highest peak of India? Then Godwin Austen. That is the highest peak of India. If it is asked that which is the highest peak of world, then Mount Everest. If it is asked that which is the highest peak of India, so Godwin Austen. See now next point. There are three distinct ranges in Himalayas which are almost parallel to each other. This we have learned just now. Three parallel ranges are there. Next one. In the Great Himalayas, there are some high mountain passes such as, see now the names are little bit strange, but you have to remember it. Jelepla, Nathula, Shipkila. Okay, how will you remember it? Jelepla, Nathula, Shipkila. So these are some high mountain which are on the Himalayas. Now the next point, Mansarovar, which is located in China. Our school is also at the Mansarovar, but this is different, Mansarovar road, while I am talking here about the Mansarovar which is in China, which is considered to be a sacred holy place. Okay, this place is a religious place, okay, and so it is known as a sacred holy place. It is also located in this range. People go there for pilgrimage. You must have heard about it, students. Now, second range. It is also known as Central Himalayas, or we can say it Lesser Himalayas. Okay? Two names are there of the second range. Which are they? Central Himalayas and Lesser Himalayas. So the first point for that, second range to the south of the Greater Himalayas is also spread in wider area. See, the first range was called Greater Himalayas, while the second range is called Lesser Himalayas. So the second range is also spread in wider area. It is in the south of the Greater Himalayas. Second point, it is called Central Himalayas or the Lesser Himalayas. With a width ranging from 80 to 100 kilometers. So what is the width of it? 80 to 100 kilometers. This range includes mountain ranges. Now here also mountain ranges are there. What is the name of those ranges? So Pir Panjal, Mahabharat, Nagtiba, etc. These names also you have to remember. Pir Panjal, Mahabharat and Nagtiba. See, now many hill stations have developed in this moderately high range. So many hill stations are there. You must have went over there for the tour. Let's see the names which are there. So some of these hill stations are Dalhousie, Dharamshala, Shimla, Mussoorie, Ranikhet, Almeda, Nainital, Darjeeling, etc. You must have heard these names and many of you have visited also. Just remember once how it was, how was your experience. It means you have visited Lesser Himalayas. See, only by hearing the names, it is so sweet, so nice names that we just think to visit over there. It attracts us. After that, here are some famous holy places also, like Gangotri, Yamunotri, Badrinath, Kedarnath, Hemkund Sahib, etc. Here also people went for pilgrimage. The people go over there for religious reasons. Now some beautiful natural valleys are also there. Which are they? Kalus, Kangda and Kashmir. These are extremely beautiful natural valleys in this region. If you have visited there, you must have remembered how it is. Now we are coming up to third range. It is also known as Shivalik range, or we can say Outer Himalayas. No other range is there after this. Okay, this is the third range and the last one. So don't worry, it's not much far. So we learned about the Greater, the Lesser and now Outer Himalayas. It is also known as Shivalik range. This third range, situated in further south, is known as Shivalik or Outer Himalayas, and most of it falls within India. Most of its part is in India. See, now it is about 10 to 15 kilometers wide. It's not much, 10 to 15 kilometers wide, and has an average height of 1000 meters. See, now peculiar valley formations have taken place in this range, which are covered by gravel, stones and thick sediments. So many valley formations are there, and which are full of what? Three names are given over here. See, first one, gravel, it means very small stones. Then stones bigger than that, and thick sediments. Here thick sediments means the elements which fertile the soil. Locally these are known as dun. For example, Dehradun, Patli Dun, Kothari Dun, etc. Now comes the second one. We have already just now learned about the northern Himalayas. Now came eastern Himalaya. So these ranges situated in the eastern part of Himalayan ranges have lesser height. See now the ranges which are in the eastern part of Himalaya. These ranges are having lesser height than the western part of Himalayas. Some of them are more famous as hills. These hills in the eastern Himalayas are spread as smaller ranges. These are small ones. Among them, Patkai Hills, which are situated in Arunachal Pradesh, Naga Hills in Nagaland, and Lushai or Mizo Hills in Mizoram. These all are falling in India. See now, these hills are located near the eastern border, eastern Indian border, and have their continuation. They are not stopping over there. They continuously go where? In Arakan Yoma range. Here in Myanmar, this Himalayan range is known as Arakan Yoma range. So, these hills are located near the eastern border in India and have their continuation in Arakan Yoma range of Myanmar. Now see which hills are famous in Meghalaya. So Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills. These are famous in Meghalaya. See now mountainous regions have more rainfall, so dense forests have developed there because there is so much rainfall over there. Due to this rainfall, dense forests have developed. See here we are waiting for these kind of rain, while there is so much rainfall that the dense forests have developed. But see other thing, that as this is a forested area, roads and railway have not developed much. See, because it is forested area, so there are no facilities, not good facilities of roads and railways there. And so with this point we are completing here our first part of chapter 14. We'll meet again with the second part of the chapter. Hope you understood well. If you have any confusion, you may call me anytime. Stay home, stay safe, good luck. Thanks for watching.